Hi, I'm Adila. Welcome to my channel. Today, I just feel so compelled to share my recent money manifestations. And um, I'm just going to begin with where I started with it and what's been happening that I just can't hold in anymore. Last year, I was in a group and it was a manifestation group. And I remember one of the people in the group talking about that he manifests checks out of the blue, right? And he said that he started saying that he manifests checks in the mail. And what happened with that was all of a sudden he started receiving checks from like an insurance company, and there were multiple, and they couldn't explain why he was getting them. And it was because he consciously manifested it, right? So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to do that too, right? So from time to time, I would just talk about manifesting checks, right? And my ultimate like money manifestation story was that I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a thriving business owner. So I have multiple millions of dollars and I live debt free. So out of that, just all of these different stories about money started to shift. And this year, at the beginning of the year, I had this idea that I pay all my bills in full every January, right? And how everything else is automated. So everything's on auto pay. I don't have to worry about it. And it's just easy, right? So from that thought, I was like, you know, it would be nice if I got just, a check for like $10,000. That means I can pay off all of my reoccurring credit cards, taxes, whatever. So, what did I do? I went to the end. I imagined that I was paying off my credit cards. I imagined that I was making that payment and I was like, whew, yes, relief. I don't have to deal with them anymore. I'm not just paying the interest on them, because if you're not managing it properly, you just end up paying the interest, right? So that was earlier this year, maybe January or so, and I didn't really think much of it, but anytime I would think about it, I would, reaffirm that, right? And I have a habit of scripting. I like to script, ideally, I like to script daily. And if it's not me sitting down physically with my journal, I'm in my phone and I'm putting in, what my ideal story is. So with that one, um, it was so funny because even like a week before, I just like listed out everything that I wanted to have paid off. Every single thing. Student loans, credit cards, taxes I owe, all of that stuff. And I had an idea. I was like, well, let me cash out one of my retirement accounts because I have two. And my mom probably wouldn't like that idea, but I have two, and I forgot that it has like $18,000 in it or something like that. A job that I don't even know, that I don't work any longer. So I did that, and they said the check will come in like 45 days. So this is money I was actually expecting. But then when I was talking to the representative, he was like, oh, and you have this amount. Oh, and you have this amount. And you have this amount. And I was like, oh, okay. So it was even better than me like looking to manifest just $10,000, right? So the check came, and it was two of them. So one was 15,000 and the other was 32.98, right? So I'm excited. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm excited, and I did it. I paid off those credit cards, right? So I'm paying them and I'm feeling relieved. And then I'm talking to one of the representatives, and they're like, if you do this, then you can't reopen the credit card. I'm like, I don't care. I don't need these, right? So that was that. And all of a sudden, something else happened. On my list of things that I'm manifesting being debt free of were my student loans. And my student loans are a lot. They're like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I didn't even believe that this was possible, but I just kept writing it out. I wasn't really saying it as much, but I was like feeling the relief of not having to make student loan payments, not having to worry about it. It's not a thing anymore, whatever. So I got a notification, because I'm going to talk about student loan debt relief in another video, because it's a really compelling story, and I want to just give it my all. Because in this video, I'm talking about the checks I keep manifesting in the mail, right? So it's not like my full manifestation of being a multimillionaire, but I keep getting checks in the mail. So, student loans, I was approved for like this, not debt relief, but some like lawsuit that came up with getting your student loans dispersed because your school did not comply with what they offered or something like that. I'll figure out all the terminology later, but as a result, I got a payment of $125,000 to my student loan debt, and I'm still manifesting that it's a zero balance, right? Zero balance, because I'm debt free. I have no reoccurring debts. I live just so free. I have multi-millions in the bank that I have access to every day, and that's just my ideal lifestyle, right? So that's amazing, but it's not the full manifestation. But what I'm here to talk about is the checks in the mail. So first I got, this $15,000 check because taxes were taken out. That's fine. But then all of a sudden last week I started receiving checks in the mail. And one of the funny things is that when I was imagining I was going to the end and I was feeling the relief of it happening, but also having inner conversations about it, like telling my family how it happened or telling my sister. Like me and my sister joke a lot about like whenever we see a check is coming, because we have the postal app where you can look at the mail that got scanned and that's coming for the day. So anytime I see a check for her, I'm like, give me some of that, or take me to lunch. And we're just like playing with each other like that, right? I wake up to a text from her that morning saying, what are these checks? Let me get some, right? And so I went and looked at the app and I was like, I have checks in the mail. So this check came, then this check came, and this check came, and this check came, all in one day. All in one day. Then those are deposited. The next day, she texted me and was like, more checks. What's going on? This check came, and this check came. So how many total? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 checks in the mail. 7 checks. This is like the funnest. I said I have to share this because all I started to do was say, I love that I manifest checks in the mail. And at first I started saying I manifest checks in the mail. I wasn't specific about the amounts. And I started to get random checks. Like they'll be unexplainable. It'll be random, like $5 check from Wells Fargo saying they owed me money. And I was like, didn't even make sense. Something from some reimbursement from like some claim or something. I couldn't even make it out for the other check that I got. It's like a $250 check. So the amounts would be so random. But then I dialed it up and said, I received massive checks in the mail and of massive amounts. So my sister was joking and saying, like, how much are those? Like, it better not be change, but it's not change, okay? $1,000. They're random amounts, but they're all different. So I haven't even cashed these yet. I need to cash them. So that has been like really funny, really fun to experience, but it keeps happening. So a couple of days ago, my daughter gave me this what I thought was a bill in the mail, and it's another check. Like, it's just crazy because it's like a domino effect keeps happening. It's check after check after check. So I'm sharing this because this is the first time it's happened to me on this scale. Because it's been happening just randomly, like every few months since I started saying that. And I want to share because it's so easy to manifest these things. It's so easy. And well, I'll explain how, but I also want to say, like, this was the most embarrassing thing that I thought of the other day was last year I needed some dental work, and I had to ask my mom to help me pay the deductible because I was in this state of struggle and strife and not having enough. So, and the deductible was only like $200, right? So it just, it's just really nice to experience what I'm experiencing now versus less than a year ago. Like, so many things have been just happening. Um, but the biggest thing that I want to share is that I used to make it hard. I used to make it hard for these things to happen. I used to feel like I had to, read all the books and, listen to all these different coaches and study so hard or whatever. But the thing that I've learned is it's really easy. All you do is claim exactly what you want. And you claim it as though it's already happening. And just continue to claim that. Regardless of what comes up, regardless of if you don't believe that it's happening. None of this stuff I actually believed would happen. Like the $100,000 payment to my student loans. I didn't think that was possible. I had this idea that I'd be paying on those for the rest of my life. And that's just a consequence of going to school and, that's just it. That's what my parents did. So all you have to do is claim what your ideal is and just embody the state of having it, the state of consciousness of having it. My state was I'm a multimillionaire. I live debt free. I have no debts whatsoever. I manifest checks in the mail that came out of that. It's like your overarching state is I love being a multimillionaire. I'm thriving in every area of my life. And the affirmation from that was I love living debt free. It feels so good. It feels so relieving. I feel so relaxed every day. I don't have to work. I don't have to work hard. Everything that I choose to do in work is a choice. I can work if I want to. I don't have to, but that's it. That's it. It was that simple. And like, it's just, this is the result. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I appreciate you being here. I have so much more to share. So I'm going to continue to, put that out there and just want to hear back from you guys to, help you in any way or see if you try it yourself and watch what transpires. But just stick with it. All you have to do is just keep going back to that same story, your ideal story. This is true for me, and it will happen for you. It has to happen. It's the law. All right. Talk to you soon. Feel free to comment. Leave comments. I love to share your experiences, and I'll see you next time.